The attendant didn't show it, but I sensed he was watching my every move. The cabinet contained a dagger decorated with Mayan designs. The carving looked Buddhist in subject, but Mesoamerican in execution. There was a huge carving of somebody who must have been important once. It was a small, flat square of polished obsidian. Nothing like the one I was looking for. According to the caption, this was the scrying mirror given to Dr. John Dee by Sir Francis Drake. The display case contained a couple of vases. The pots in the case seemed to amuse the girls no end. It was a stone identical in size and style to the coyote stone. However, this stone bore the image of a jaguar. The cabinet was locked. Bonjour. I wonder if you could help me.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
What's so funny? Oh, never mind. The mask looked more African than American. It was a woven wall hanging with a South American design. The carving looked Central or South American in style, perhaps Aztec.
Excuse me, miss. Please don't touch the exhibits.
The cabinet was locked.
Can I help you, miss?
What can you tell me about the scrying mirror?
That belonged to the alchemist and part-time Elizabethan spy, Dr. John Dee. It was brought back from the New World by Sir Francis Drake and presented to him. It's Mayan, you know.
What is a scrying mirror?
It's rather like a crystal ball, and you can't see anything in it. Apparently, he had a partner who used it to talk with angels. If you ask me, you were barking mad.
Have you ever heard of an English sea captain called El Draco?
El Draco? Not a very English name.
I think that's what the Spanish would have called him. It was about the time of the conquistadors.
16th century. Oh, I know. That's what the Spanish called Sir Francis Drake.
Francis Drake? Have you got anything here that belonged to him?
Indeed, miss. We have a couple of artifacts he brought back from one of his journeys.
It didn't look anything like the coyote stone. This one was like a little black shaving mirror. Is the scrying mirror the only piece of obsidian Drake gave Dee?
Funny you should ask. There's another called the Jaguar stone. Dee never liked it, though. Said there were angels in the mirror, but devils in that stone.
Can you tell me something about the jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. The so-called Jaguar stone was brought back from the Americas by Sir Francis Drake and presented, with, as you already know, the more famous scrying mirror, to John Dee. The old loony didn't like the stone, though. Reckoned it was tainted by the devil. Come along, miss. I'll show you the mirror.
I've already... Oh, never mind.
There. John Dee's famous scrying mirror, given to him by Francis Drake.
Do you know if this mirror has any relevance to Tezcatlipoca?
Who? Tizletlik... I can't even say it. Oh, there's someone here who'll be able to help you better than me. This young lady has some questions to ask, Professor. I think she's from France.
Professor Roubillier.
Eh? What?
You two know each other, do you? Excuse me, the telephone.
We meet again.
Mademoiselle? France, eh?
Yes, I believe that's where you live, Professor.
I have a house there, on the outskirts of Paris, but I haven't been back for many months.
What can you tell me about the Jaguar stone, Professor?
It's obsidian, from the Chichen Itza region.
Professor Roubillier, your taxi's here.
If you'll excuse me, I have some urgent business to attend to at the docks.
Can you answer me some questions about the Jaguar stone?
Certainly, miss. If you just step this way. It's gone. Some sods half-inched it.
Half-inched?
Stolen it, miss. Never mind. The silent alarm will have been tripped. I'm afraid nobody can leave until our crack security team gets here.
How long will that take?
Could be a while. I think it's their tea break.
The thief could be miles away by then.
Don't you worry about that, miss. Just don't try to leave.
It was too much of a coincidence that Roubillier showed up and the stone promptly disappeared. I didn't have time for their crack security team to finish their tea. I had to get after him. The cabin. The key unlocked the case. I locked the case again and took the key. There was nothing very useful in my bag, just a single hair clip. The cabinet was locked. The key didn't fit this lock. I didn't need to make a call. I doubted the girls would be any help to me. Don't you think it's suspicious that Roubillier has urgent business at the docks?
Not in the slightest, young lady. He's gone to oversee the unloading of cargo, an exhibition of Mayan sculpture on loan from Mexico City.
What's the name of the ship?
The Xibalba Princess, moored down by Tower Bridge. Why do you ask?
Just wondering. I didn't steal the stone. I was nowhere near it.
So who do you suppose did steal it?
It must have been Roubillier.
Huh! Begging your pardon, but he's a man of letters. A professor.
So was Moriarty. Man of letters or not, he's your culprit. Look at this. The thief left this key in the cabinet.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
That makes the theft an inside job, right?
Oh dear.
In other words, the thief was Professor Roubillier.
Well, let's leave that for the police to decide, shall we? I better phone them right away. Hello?
I knew I had nothing to worry about if the police were called.
Yes, I'll hold.
But I had to catch up with Oublier, and fast. I levered the handle open with the thin dagger.
The room had been decorated to resemble the interior of a sailing ship. It was disturbingly effective. Holding that lantern, I felt kinda biblical. Like Jesus or Florence Nightingale. The lantern fitted so precisely in the inkwell, it could only be deliberate. It was a beautifully crafted model of a sailing ship. The ship looked too fragile to touch. It was an old book with spidery writing covering the open pages. March 20th, 1670 fix. Engaged frigate off Fan Salvador? It was garbage. Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? Okay, I've had my hands on an historical document. Now what? The chart fitted exactly into the recess on the top of the desk. Maybe that wheel was from Ketch's ship. Suddenly, I was 12 years old again. Hard a port, boatswain. Aye, aye, Captain Stobart. She cannot take it, Captain. My lad's dead. Abandoned ship. Captain Frederick Ketch, 1570. Around his neck was a cross. Maybe he was a part-time pirate. It was a ship's bell.
Two bells and all's well.
Pirates were cool. It was a shiny and very sharp-looking pirate's cutlass. It would have been easy to reach the cutlass and slip it in my pocket. It would also have been the most regrettable action of my life. It was an old wooden barrel. Maybe it was from Ketch's ship. Yow! I should have known better than to put my hand in there. Grandma Stobart had a nasty experience in a water butt once.
Surprise!
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? Pfft. I'm never gonna grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws,
Jeez.
make your mind up.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah, I know. Scary-looking guy, huh?
He was my great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, you have his eyes. Why don't you go play with Rio?
I'm not allowed.
How come?
Because Aunt Frost says I'm not allowed out of the house. That's why, Mr. Nosy Beak.
Too bad. Why don't you ask your other aunt if you can play with Rio?
Aunt Mina's cuckoo. Aunt Frost says so. She says when the Lord handed out common sense, Aunt Mina was off getting double portions of chin.
That Rio's a smart kid. He helped me outwit Bronson.
Rio is clever. He can spit ever so far.
Look, an ancient Mayan stone.
Is that a magic stone?
Well, I don't know about that.
No.
Would you like to play darts?
No?
Oh, come on. I'll throw, you catch.
That's dangerous. Darts will stick in me and make me bleed.
Do you know how to use a theodolite?
We don't learn anything about surveying at my school. Not until 5th grade.
That cross you're wearing, Emily,
It's my lucky Jesus cross.
it's just like the one Captain Ketch wore.
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it?
Uh-uh.
Why don't you run along and play?
Aunt Mina told me, stay out of mischief.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay indoors, does it? On a beautiful day like today?
There's a storm coming.
Oh, nuts. You don't know that.
I do so. I can see the whole world from the window.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm busy. What would you trade for that cross, Emily?
A puppy.
Well, I don't happen to have a puppy in my pocket right now. Can you think of anything else you'd trade?
Don't know.
What do you give to a small, irritating girl who asks about everything?
Try a conch. Delicate colors, interesting shape, and when you put it to your ear, you can hear the sea.
Yeah, why's that?
Usually because you're standing next to it.
Cool. Have you got one?
Yeah, but I promised it to my sister. She well vexed with me.
Why is your sister mad with you?
Well, last night when I got home with our supper, she went wild. Rio, she said, how come all you ever catch is puffer fish? A sicker puffer fish. What I want is tiger fish. So don't bother come back home till you catch one, boy. I don't see how I'm gonna catch no tiger fish. All I have is a fishing pole and a worm.
What do you need to catch a tiger fish?
One of them real fancy flies like the rich fishermen use.
That might come in useful in ticklish situations.
What you doing, Jaws?
I'm just borrowing this feather, that's all.
Why?
I might be able to make use of it.
You're gonna steal it? That's bad. I'm gonna tell on you.
No, don't do that.
Why not?
Well, because I'm not stealing, just borrowing. The cat made short work of the feather, tearing it into a blizzard of small pieces. Hey, this is just what you need to make a fly.
Thanks. Let's hope them tiger fish hungry. A deal's a deal. Here's a conch.
Here, I've got a conch. Would you like it?
Dunno. Aunt Frost told me never to take presents from strange men.
I'm not a strange man.
Then why are you called Jaws, Jaws? That's a stupid name.
I'm not called... Look, conch, pretty. Swap for the cross, yes or no? Right, this thing's going out the window.
Okay, we'll do swapsies.
Ketch's cross slipped snugly into the penholder.
What you doing now, Jaws?
Knock it off, will ya? There's something you ought to know. I don't buy cute or lost puppy. I've put your cross in this little hole in the desk.
Why?
Impulse mainly, with a dash of irrational intuition.
Silly. Only women have intuition.
The lantern cast a strong light over the desktop. The light cast a shadow of the cross. And the shadow fell precisely over a small, unnamed island shaped like a skull. That must be it. Ketch's Treasure Island.
Uh-oh. That's Zombie Island. It's a bad place.
No kidding? Well, bad place or not, that's my next port of call.
Can I come too?
The hell you can.
I never get to leave the house.
The novelty value of having an inner tube in my pocket had worn off. I left it there. I didn't want a fishing net. Would you take me to, Zombie Island?
In this weather? You're mad, man.
The rain will keep the zombies indoors. Just say I did meet a zombie. What would you do?
There ain't no zombies on Zombie Island. At least, not anymore. It's uninhabited.
Good. What do you mean, not anymore?
You still want to go?
I guess.
Well, I ain't had no luck with them tiger fish. And with the mood my sister is in, I'll be safer with the zombies. So, this was Zombie Island.
Somehow I'd been expecting something more sinister. Come on, Rio. Let's find that treasure.
No, thanks. I'm staying right here.
Oh, come on. You said yourself there's no zombies left.
Yeah, but that was while there was a big pile of seawater between me and this place. All me have now is this little bit between the boat and the shore, and I'm hanging on to it.
No, it can't be. But it was. My lucky piece of coal. Rio, how far away is Ketch's Landing from here?
Best part of 10 miles. Why?
10 miles? That catapult must have been a lot more powerful than I thought. It was too high. I couldn't get up there. Rio's boat was strewn with fishing nets and tackle. Could I borrow your net?
Yeah, man, no problem. You planning on catching some fish?
Nope. I'm after a big rock. That Emily sure asks a lot of questions.
Rest it, man. This whole Emily business just isn't funny.
Look, we're obviously at cross purposes here. I'm talking about Emily Ketch.
Yeah, and so am I. She was my friend. Her aunts hated it, but we did move together, you know. She used to be real keen at hide and seek. It could take hours to find her. One time, the last time, it took days. She must have shouted and screamed herself hoarse, but there was nobody to hear her.
Where'd she hidden herself?
Captain Ketch's old sea chest. The only way to open it was from the outside.
Suddenly, I didn't feel so good. We never exchanged another word about Emily Ketch. Well, here I go. Wish me luck, Rio.
Good luck, George. Watch out for the Walking Dead.
I stumbled down dark stairwells for what seemed like forever, until suddenly I found myself, wow, in an abandoned London Underground station. This place must have been closed down decades ago. The blade was too thick for the narrow slot. I pushed the hair clip into the slot and whatever was stuck there disappeared into the machine. I pulled out an old English penny. The tray was empty. The machine looked like it had sold its last ticket a long time ago. It might have been a nice souvenir if it hadn't been torn and dirty. I put the old penny into the slot, the needle twitched rustily, and the machine spat out a card. The weight was in imperial units. It meant nothing to me. The card also had my fortune on it. A family quarrel will turn out to your advantage. The poster was advertising a play I'd never heard of. It was an old map of the London Underground. It looked just like the modern one. A latch lock stopped me getting into the cupboard. The blade of the dagger just fitted between the door and the soft wood frame. The door gave slightly and then held firm. A latch lock stopped me getting into the cupboard. The hair grip was too thick to fit into the crack. I remembered my student days when I regularly forgot my house keys. A wiggle with the thick cord between the frame and the lock, and the latch lifted. The train was my ride out of there. I could worry about not having a ticket when I got to the docks.
If I jumped, I could just about reach the branch. Climbing the tree wasn't going to help any in this situation. The boar's expression said, "Forget it, Stobart." The end of the reed had been neatly bitten off. Now I knew what was living in there. A long-toothed, snarling, furry wild thing. What the? Steady, guy. It's just a monkey. Hold on. I've been here before. Haven't I? Initials had been carved into the rock. Initials carved into the stone read F.K. Frederick Ketch had been here. The hill I was on had reminded me of a camel's hump as I'd climbed up it. Now I had to see what I could see. It was a good cave for hiding treasure in. Shame about the flooding problem. It was a good cave for hiding treasure in. Shame about the flooding problem. A needle rock. Eye of the needle? A needle rock. A needle rock. Heck, Ketch could have hidden his treasure anywhere. This island's full of hiding places. There was an enormous cave. Every tourist for the last 3 centuries must have been in that one. An ugly little cave. Didn't look like the sort of place you'd want to leave treasure. What is this? The magic forest of deja vu or something? Stay cool, Stobart. It was only a bird. The dart fitted snugly into the reed. Great. I was tooled up and dangerous. That branch had helped me all it was going to. The creeper just came away from the rock as I pulled it. The creeper didn't look like it would hold my weight. No good. I'd have to be bitten by a radioactive spider before I stood any chance of getting up there. The net attached easily enough to the creeper and seemed secure. Great. I'd created some sort of creeper marker fishing net assembly. Sometimes I terrify myself with my creative genius. I'd successfully got the marker into a position near the top of the needle simply by using the kind of lateral thinking that can get you institutionalized. Ketch could have hidden his treasure anywhere. This island's full of hiding places. It was the marker which I had raised up the needle of rock. I could see the marker I had fastened on the rock down in the forest, and right in line with it, the rock I was looking for.
The Xibalba princess lay at anchor just below Tower Bridge. I knew I'd found the right ship as soon as I saw Pablo at the rail. It was risky, but I thought I could get to the next crate unseen. Got you.
But the collar woman was there. They'll know it was me.
But you have the stone. The right stone, you're sure?
Yes, of course, it's the Jaguar stone. No possible mistake. Here it is. Karzak, please. The police will be looking for me soon. You're going to get me out of the country, aren't you?
Stop your whining, Ubier. Do you have any idea what this stone symbolizes?
I thought you just wanted it to frighten the natives.
Fool. I intend to cast this stone into the sea.
But why? It's unique.
Exactly. With it gone, the Mayan priest's plan to destroy Tezcatlipoca cannot succeed.
I can assure you that Tezcatlipoca is a mythical figure.
Such a small mind you live in. Tezcatlipoca is real. I have seen him in my dreams. We have spoken of his plans for this world. We have spoken of your part in these plans.
My part?
He told me you would be useful. He told me how to crush your spirit by turning you to drugs.
My wife died. You know that full well. She was my world, my everything.
And now, you are no longer useful. She called out your name as she died, you know.
What? What are you saying?
And then they thought you'd done it. It all worked perfectly.
You? It was you? You bastard! You monster! For the love of God, Karzak!
Which one?
I couldn't just rifle his body without making sure he was really dead. There were no signs of life, but I checked that Oublier really was beyond help. We were going to need the stone to thwart Karzak. I knew Oublier would have approved. It was the Jaguar stone, all right.
Pirates? I was about to make good my escape when...
Cut! Who the hell are you?
I can explain everything.
Don't bother.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were making a movie.
So who are you?
Stobart. George Stobart. 2 B's and 2 T's.
It's okay, Mr. Hawks. He wasn't in the shot.
Hawks? This had to be Carlton Hawks, the newest enfant terrible of Tinseltown. I'd read about him. Mailroom boy makes good. Nice to know it was still possible to get to be a director armed with only an encyclopedic knowledge of postal charges.
Stay out of the way, surfer boy. I'll deal with you later.
Surfer boy?